Hi, I'm Dave Cohn. Welcome to our video series for Professional GBS. This is our third of 4 modules on transformation management. In this session, we will cover program and project management. We started with the fundamentals of what is digital transformation and how it's so important to optimize before you automate. Then we talked about finding the big ideas and tools to completely understand the problem to solve. In the next 2 sessions, we will cover the fundamentals of executing transformation. Here's a framework that will guide us in our discussion. First, there's a portfolio, which is a collection of different programs and projects. We will provide guidance in achieving the right balance. Programs are a group of projects that are related. We will discuss approaches to amplify our efforts and increase business impact. For projects, we will share best practices. Finally, in the next session, we will cover change management, which is so important to maximize adoption. Here are sobering stats on project failures, which are very common in GBS and IT. A McKinsey study found that 17% of projects in IT go so badly they threaten the existence of the company. An HBR article reported that over $100 billion is wasted on projects annually that don't go well. I'm sure you've seen your own examples of projects that haven't gone like you expected. Here are common causes of project failures that you should try to mitigate. Poorly defined requirements. Have you taken sufficient time to fully understand the needs of the service or solution you are building? A great approach is to use iterative prototyping that we discussed in a previous session to fully understand what is needed. Poor communication. Have you adopted best practices to communicate project status and ensure good change management? We will discuss highlights in this session and the next. Uncontrolled scope changes. Are you disciplined in the way you are managing scope? Often your clients and users will expand their request. As project size increases, so does risk. Delivering your promised scope first before you expand can build momentum. Lack of stakeholder and executive engagement. Do you have the appropriate sponsorship to help you resolve issues, secure funding, and lead change? This is a must. Lack of baseline. Have you established a realistic schedule so you have a target to manage against, so you can get help when you are off track? Lack of resources. It's a best practice to not even start a project if you don't have the necessary resources, as you won't be able to move forward efficiently. Now, let's talk about portfolio design. There are many ways to generate your portfolio. Ideas will come top-down from stakeholders and bottom-up from your continuous improvement efforts in operations. You are also applying design thinking to better understand your users and fully define your problems. When you build your project portfolio, a best practice is to reserve budget for innovation and improvement opportunities. This will vary based on the maturity of your service. For example, if you are leading an automation team, you will have significantly more invested in innovation. Overall, advanced GBS organizations are using this 70-20-10 split as a rule of thumb. 70% of the budget for running their services, 20% for driving continuous improvement, and 10% for innovation. This approach can ensure you can continue to drive down the cost of your going work and increase value with new capabilities. As you think about your work on continuous improvement and innovation, here's another way to segment your projects to ensure it's balanced. First, you want to have a few experiments. Perhaps you are learning your way into new automation technologies and you could be experimenting with bots. Experiments are a good way to build skills in innovation and engage clients with minimum viable products. Next are your productivity plays. These could be projects for your continuous improvement efforts to eliminate incidents or increase cycle time. Platform investments are required periodically to upgrade your services that often bring new capabilities. Lastly, what are those discontinuous bets you are going to make to drive transformation? Perhaps there's new planning software with machine learning capabilities that will bring a competitive advantage. Our next topic is transformation programs. As we look at increasing value that we can bring to the business with our GBS programs, here are some themes that can turn your standard projects into a strategic program. First, think about your value claim. Is your claim meaningful to the business? And is it distinctive to GBS? For example, we improve speed to market with virtual shells for consumer research. Although we could have claimed that we were helping sales, that's an area owned by many other functions. So we made a value claim on increasing cycle time. We took a process that took 2 months, creating physical shelves, and we are now doing it in 2 days. Next, think about the technologies you can offer and if providing a service around it would be better. Often you'll be working with businesses that may not have a discipline to fully exploit the technology, as there may be significant data management needs. On our virtual shelving effort, we didn't just give the new technology to the business, but rather we offered a full service where we can ensure all the right products were featured on the shelf. Where can you increase the value that GBS brings by combining technology with a service offering? Messaging can also be an important area to increase the impact of your GBS efforts. We had a program where we needed to do a PC refresh and training. We named it Get Back 30 and invited people to cafeterias in each site to participate with giveaways and food. We turned what might have been seen as a hassle into a fun event where people learned about improving their productivity 30 minutes a week. A final thought to increase the value of your programs is aggregating a lot of small ideas into one big one. For example, we took 15 small projects and called it one big project of going digital. There was one monthly update and common messaging. A few sub-projects were featured each month. For our stakeholders, they saw one big project with clear value versus 15 small ones. So, get a meaningful value claim. Consider a service offering in partnership with technology. Have good messaging. And think about aggregating many small ideas into one big one. All are approaches to make your programs more strategic in the eyes of the business. We've talked about portfolio and programs. Now we will cover best practices on project management. If you are certified by the Project Management Institute, you know all this and more. However, if project management isn't your area of expertise, here are the essentials that you need to know about whether you are running, contributing, or sponsoring the effort. Project Charter. You need to start here defining the scope, objective, sponsor, resources, and funding. The Project Charter can help you set the right course and save you time by only starting the project when you have everything you need for success. If it will require changing the way people work, then this is a great opportunity to confirm that the business is on board. Next, your project plan and work breakdown structure. This can be in an Excel file or a planning tool like Microsoft Project Manager. A realistic schedule is a must to set expectations with the business and have a plan to manage against. Project communications are so important to keep your sponsors and stakeholders informed. You need to avoid surprises and build support. Know your audience, both executive summaries for your sponsor and details for others that need them. Issues and risk is a hot one. We will talk more about this in a moment. Here's an example of a project communication report. Perhaps you've heard of the watermelon effect. Watermelons are green on the outside and red on the inside. That's exactly what you don't want in a project. If your project is off track, be honest in your reporting. It's a great way to get attention from leadership and get the help you need. Also, make your reports friendly to your leaders by including a summary that quickly reminds them of the business value, current status, key issues, and help needed. Good issue management can mean the difference between project success and failure. Here are tips you may consider. Create a culture where issues are worked via interactive conversations and not email, so roadblocks can be resolved in days versus weeks or months. Ensure you document your issues, the description, impact, options, pros and cons, and a recommendation. Often writing the issue down will enable resolution. Get decisions made by delegating up to the accountable leader. Keep an issue log to track resolution. Our final topic on project management is about Agile and Waterfall. I like to think about Waterfall as ready, aim, fire, and Agile as ready, fire, aim. Waterfall is appropriate for projects where requirements are stable and work is linear. Think of the 7th time you've upgraded your ERP. Agile is better where requirements are unclear and the cost of change is minimal. You may even consider a hybrid approach. For example, Waterfall can help you manage the implementation of a new solution, but Agile can be used to get the user interface configured to fully meet the needs of your business. We hope you enjoyed this session in our Professional GBS series. All the best as you professionalize, modernize, and transform.